Like space shuttle launches, and at night were my favorite ones because it would just light up the sky like dawn. It was so cool.
That's
I
so
miss the
cool.
space
I've
shuttle
never actually
program so
seen a
much.
launch of being a
Oh, really?
Floridian. Nope.
Oh no! Oh man, next time there's a launch, I gotta. Well, maybe not next time, but
Within the next year.
yeah, no. I will bring you out. We'll go to my place of employment, which is right along the river. It's the best place to watch a launch, and they'll let us in, obviously, because I work there. And we'll watch it so that you can see it. Because even, I mean, like, there's nothing quite as impressive as watching a space shuttle go up, like the OG, like real deal space shuttle. But watching rockets go up is still pretty cool, and people still come from all over to see it. To the
Yeah, I've
point
never seen
where
it.
the city of Titusville has made like launch sites along the rivers so that you can see. So people will park there, they'll get out on, and go stand on the boardwalk and watch the launch and then be done with it. So, and there's a restaurant right along the river. It's called El Leoncito, which is one of my favorite Cuban Mexican restaurants ever. And when there's a launch, their business is just hopping and booming because
Really?
they also have outside seating. And so when there's a launch, people are like, "Oh yeah, we want to sit outside." But like, if you sit inside, you can just stand up from your table and walk outside. So I don't know, like, why. Anyway,
There's a
that's
big
what I
like
that's what I used to do before the coronavirus came to the States. Is we would like go to El Leoncito and just have dinner, and then we would kind of time it so that we were like finishing up dinner as the launch was
and then
going
you could
up.
go watch it.
Also, Kay made me a drink. She made me a vodka cran,
Ooh.
and it's very strong.
I will say too, so before they left, so I asked Eric, I was like, "Are you stopping by Target or anything?" He's like, "Yeah, we need hand soap." And I was like, "Can you buy me some wine?" And he was like, well, maybe I'm not stopping at Target." And I was like, "Okay, it's fine. Like, don't worry about it." And then David was like, "You still have Kraken, which is like rum."
Yep, we
And
have
I was
Kraken too.
like, "Okay." I was like, "Actually, yeah." And he was like, but I was like, "Kraken hits me harder than wine does." And he was
Mhm.
like, "Well, just drink it slowly." And I'm like, "Well, I'm not good at that." So and he was like, "Well, I don't know what to tell you."
Yeah,
But they all
I
left.
get it. Okay, well, I wish them safe travels.
Same. And it's just me and the dog and the cat. And the cat's yelling
Yeah.
outside the bedroom door.
Wow, thanks, Wes.
He's like, meow, meow.
That was Panther Lily
But I'm
last.
leaving him out there because his food timer is going to go off in like 10 minutes. So there's no point in letting him in because he's just going to be wanting to be let out.
His
But
food is on a timer.
yeah, he has an automatic feeder because, one, we're not always home.
Right.
And also, Eric used to work for the airport, so he used to have to get up at 4 a.m. in the morning. So when he stopped working, or like working at the airport and waking up that early, Wes still wanted to be fed that early.
Oh, cats are
So,
such bitch ass hoes.
yeah, so he used to wake Eric up at 4 or 5 when he didn't
Yeah,
have to be up and be like, feed me. So he
yeah.
got an automatic timer feeder so that he
That is
didn't have to be awake.
absolutely, man. We let the cats just kind of we free feed the cats because, with the
Wes is
exception,
too fat. He's getting fat,
yeah.
and there's no way that we'd be able to free feed him.
Well, I was gonna say, with the exception of Aloy, who's a little bit of a chonk, the other
It's a
two
chonk.
are fine. She really is. Like, I know you haven't seen her recently, but she's chonky. They're fine, and Aloy started gaining weight after Zelda died, and I don't know if it's just because like that's how
Sadness.
she, yeah, depression gained weight, but
Do you hear this cat?
yes, I do. I was about to say,
Oh my
it
god. Let me
sounds
open the door.
yeah,
One
on
sec.
my end, it sounds like a whistle.
Every time I close the door. It's
Yeah,
like,
he just wants to be
dude.
included. That's just
He
how
wants to be
cats are.
included, but he doesn't let me hold him, so like fuck him.
Pet Black cats are like that because I'm telling you, Panther Lily is the exact same way. So tell me about your highs and lows.
My high is that this weekend I'm having a staycation with Eric
Yes.
to just celebrate our relationship and also to have time alone, give David time alone, everyone time alone, because we all live in a very small apartment and it's
Yeah,
hard to give
yeah.
each other space. So
Yeah.
It's going to be nice to just have some time as a couple and then just, I don't know, do something out of the house for once. For the last couple of months, we haven't really done anything. So it'll be nice to do something new and be in a different place. And it's in a hotel that I've never stayed in before. So
Right,
I'm
right.
excited about it. I'm not going to tell anybody what the hotel is, but
Obviously.
but I'm
Yeah.
excited, and it'll be nice to spend some time and be able to. I think we're gonna bring the Switch, and we're gonna watch
Yay.
movies. But yeah, just
Yeah,
have
I
alone
will
time. It's
say
hard when you live with other people. You can't
yeah.
do everything you want to do, and if you do, you feel
Yeah.
like an ass because you're like, well, I'm being really loud.
Yeah, yeah, no, I get it. I will say that I have stayed in the hotel that you will be staying in because, of course, you have shared that with me offline. And I think you're going to enjoy it. I think it's going to be a good time. It's a fun little place to be. And yeah, I really think you're going to have a good time.
Yeah, and it'll
So
be
I'm
nice to
excited
not
for
have to
you.
worry about like bothering people.
What are you going to do with Zero?
He's gonna go back to Joey,
Okay, okay.
which will be nice. So
Hmm,
I mean,
hmm.
even if he didn't, I didn't. David said he would have watched him because he's staying
Yeah,
here.
but I mean,
But I was like, Joey, I'm already gonna be gone anyway. Do you want to watch the dog? And he was like, well, I'm not gonna say no. And I was
yeah.
just like, okay.
I was gonna say you guys got Zero together, and even though Joey is always a little bit like verbally put off by the dog, there's also still like I can tell that he cares about Zero,
He
so I'm
still
sure
loves
that'll be nice.
Zero. He still loves
So
Zero. Like
yeah, of
he's
course.
staying in town. He's supposed to be going on a trip, and he's staying in town just to watch Zero. So
Yes.
he's excited to see Zero. His only condition, he's like, you have to bathe him beforehand. And I was like, okay. It's because of the cat. Zero, I guess, has like cat hair and dander in him. So
Oh,
every time
sure.
he goes to Joey's, Joey has like the worst allergic reaction,
Oh
um,
no.
which is unfortunate. But bathing him won't be a problem anyway now, especially since he's okay with the blow dryer. So it doesn't take him 5 billion years to dry.
All of that floofy fur.
Yeah, I'm excited, and he's excited too, and everything is working out, and I don't feel like anyone's having a rough time, and it's nice,
Well,
and
that's really the ultimate goal. Is
yeah,
for everybody to be having a good time.
especially in this situation, but
Yeah.
also, he might want to play Fall Guys later.
Oh, I want to play Fall Guy. Listen, so we recording this like we always record a little less than a week ahead of time because we work full-time jobs and having this podcast is a bit like a part-time job, and
For
so it
both
just
of
takes
us.
us yeah, it just takes us about that long to edit the episode. And I don't know if anybody's picked up on that, but we alternate weeks on who edits because it really is time consuming, and Janelle was editing basically on her own, but it got to the point where she was like not able to spend time with Eric, and so now it's just it works out the best for the both of us if I edit one week and then Janelle edits one week, and that way we can
Because
both
then
spend time with our
yeah,
partners.
it breaks
And
up the workload, and it
yeah,
if we edit, if one of us edited all the time, none of us would have free time.
yeah, exactly. So it just works out best for us to record a little bit longer ahead of time than maybe most other podcasts would. And also, we take turns editing. So we were playing Fall Guys yesterday as we are recording this, if you watched the stream. And oh my God, I just had a blast. I just think that that is genuine, good, just wholesome, good time fun.
It was good time
I
fun,
just
except for
really
when I
enjoy it.
almost won and I didn't because the storm overtook me and I wanted to die, so it's fine. I was
uh,
so frustrated too.
No, that game is just like it's frustrating when you lose, but it's not like a rage quit kind of frustration the
No,
way you would get with
it's
other
like
games.
a let's do another.
Yeah, exactly. So I really think that Fall Guys is a good time. I see what the hype is about. I understand. I get it. Yeah. No, it's a good time. I really genuinely truly with no hard feelings, no genuine frustration had a really good, genuine, wholesome fun time. So I'm
It's
excited to
really
play again.
fun and it's just mindless fun.
Yeah.
Like, yes, you have to think about what you're doing, but at the end of the day, if you lose, you're not like, well, fuck. You're
Yeah,
just like,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. So Fall Guys, chef's kiss to you. I'll tell you that.
I wouldn't say pay $20 for it like everyone is right now. Like, I got it for
Yeah,
free on PlayStation Plus, but
yeah, I did
for
too.
free, totally worth it.
Absolutely.
But anyways, that was my
You're
high.
hot.
My
Yeah.
low, which I don't know why I did it backwards, but I guess I'm just excited. My low is probably just still the same. I feel like this is stupid because I keep saying it, but just exhausted, and that's
Yeah,
just
I
chronic
get it.
illness for you. But that's it.
Hmm, hmm. Oh
That's
well,
it.
you know what? At the end of the day, if that's really all that ails you, then I still think you're coming out on top.
Exactly. I'm like, I already know this is something I'm dealing with, and there's other people that are dealing with it. I'm like, you know what? Could be worse. I'm like, whatever. But what are your highs and lows?
Oh man. So I'll start with my lows first because it's quite the story. So every day this week, I'm going to try to keep it brief because I feel like I just come on my lows and like just complain. But really, this week was just a nightmare. On Monday, the AC at work went out.
Oh, great.
On Tuesday, the AC at work was still out. My assisted living facility is a high rise. So instead of one floor, the residents take elevators to get to their apartment. Not the smartest, I think, in my opinion, for elderly who can't climb stairs, but we make it work. We have elevators. So the elevators, both elevators go out. So the AC's out, the elevators go out, the power goes out, which is nice. By nice, I mean not nice. And then, oh, the phones were out, which my whole job is just answering the phone. So that was good.
That happened to me like maybe a week or two ago at the office, and we just couldn't do anything for like an hour and a half, and I felt
Yeah,
really bad.
yeah. And then on Wednesday, so by Tuesday evening, like right before I went home for the day, the AC, they got it fixed. Great. And the elevators were fixed. Great. And the power had come back on. Awesome.
Hmm.
So on Wednesday, nothing specifically happened during the morning until I go home for lunch because I live close enough to my house that I can go home, let the dogs out, and then go back to work. So on my way back to work, my car just overheats and shuts down on US 1, which is like a nightmare because it's just a really, really busy road.
Seriously.
And so I'm standing there. I don't know what's going on. I'm on the phone with Kay. I'm on the phone with my dad. I'm on the phone with my brother. It's a whole thing. So on Wednesday night, I had to take my car to my parents' house and I left it there and I drove. The youngest of my brothers is in the Air Force. His car is at my parents' house right now because he's stationed in Korea right now, which is fine. So I was driving it. It's a Subaru, and I'm telling you, when we replace Kay's car, it's going to be a Subaru. I freaking love
You're like, I
it.
only want a Subaru.
Yeah, no, I loved that car. It was great. So that happened on Wednesday. Thursday, I had my annual review, which was good. So I was going to get to that in my highs. I had my annual review, which was good. But then on Thursday night, I came home, and to make a long story short, Freya put a hole in my bedroom window.
Which, how dare she? How dare
Af-
she? You
After
feed
the.
her and bathe her, and she breaks your window.
This is one way to bite the hand that feeds you, I guess.
Have you
Friday
gotten it
wasn't.
fixed yet?
No, it's still janky ass duct taped.
Okay, one second. I'm gonna close the door.
Yeah, so it's still janky ass duct taped, which is fine. Whatever. I'll post a picture of that because it was not funny in the moment, but the longer I look back at it, like the more ridiculous hilarious it is. Friday wasn't necessarily a bad day, it was just a long, very busy, very stressful
It
day.
was just like one thing after another.
Yeah, exactly. And then yesterday, poor Freya, my poor sweet dog, she was so sick.
I'm so sorry. She
Yeah,
looks so sick too.
I thought we were gonna have to take her to the emergency vet. We did not end up having to take her to the emergency
Luckily.
vet, but there was a hot minute there where I was like, "Oh my god, if she does this again, we're gonna have to go to the vet." So today was just a chill day. I had to pick up Brandy Lynn from youth group, and then she was at our house for a little bit. And now we're recording. So all of that to say that my week was just every single day this week felt like a whole week in and of itself. My high, there's a couple of them, which is nice. My high number one is that on Thursday I had my annual review, and even though I feel like my boss has just been putting me through the ringer lately, it still went really well. Like at the end of it, she basically told me, again, you're the best receptionist I've ever had in this building.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, nobody does your job better than you. When you're gone, we absolutely feel it. And we want you to feel that way about this place. So, yeah, it was surprise. I wasn't surprised because she didn't tell me
Your
anything.
boss said that to you?
Yes.
That's
I wasn't.
surprising.
Yeah, I wasn't. I was surprised because she said it to me, but also not surprised because, I mean, there were some criticisms or critiques that she said in my review, of course, but it wasn't anything I wasn't expecting. So, all around, I do get a raise starting on the 9th, which, woo.
Woo!
And then my other high is that, oh, this weekend is a 3-day weekend,
I
baby.
know, I'm so fucking
I
excited.
can't. I'm just like so excited for it. My 3-day weekend is going to be different than anybody else's because I have to be off on Friday and work Monday, but at least that means that this coming week as you're
Oh, so
hearing
it's
this,
backwards.
yeah, so as you're listening to this, just
You're
imagine
off.
me home alone with the
I would say
dogs
without okay.
sleeping, which is fine. Kay and I spend a lot. We have very similar schedules, so we spend a lot of time together. So
You're
while
like,
I,
"It's okay. While you have the
yeah,
alone time, I'm going to make use of it," kinda thing. I will say now that Eric and I have similar schedules, it is
mhm,
nice, like, having when you do have the alone time, you're like, "Okay, now I can do
yeah,
this thing." Not that I don't like spending time with Eric, but because I do, but
obviously,
it is
yeah,
nice to just do our own thing, and sometimes it's hard right now because there's not a lot of space in our apartment. Once we move into a
right,
house, it'll be easier for us to be able to do things. We were saying the other day that we can't wait for one of us to be on the computer and one of
hmm
us to be able to lay in bed and we're not in the same room.
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
when he's able to be on the computer, I'm able to be on the computer, and we're both able to play games and we don't have to be on top of each other, then it'll be nice
Yeah.
because
Yeah, that's the thing about apartment that if I really wanted to have alone time,
you
I
can
can
have
just
alone time.
yeah, I can just go into the bedroom while she's in the living room, or I can ask her to go into the bedroom while I sit in the living room, or I can come into the guest room and just have some peace and quiet. And I can do that. And living in an apartment,
You don't have
especially
that
when you have
option.
roommates, that is not an option.
Yeah,
So,
there's nowhere to go in my apartment where there's not someone.
yeah.
So I haven't been able to have a ton of alone time. So it is nice that when we move, we'll be able to have the space to do that, not just for
Yeah.
me, but for Eric and David,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. I get what
for
you're
us to
saying.
just be like, hey, I'm gonna go in the room and I'm gonna watch a movie by myself, and Eric's just gonna be like, okay,
Yeah, exactly.
I don't
So,
have that option now. So
yeah, I'm excited for you guys to have
it's
that.
it's
But yeah.
healthier to be able to have that space.
Yeah, absolutely, 100% agree.
But for now it's fine. But once we move, it'll be nice to have that. And also, I was talking about this last night, to be able to display all of my things proudly. Like, I have so much
Yeah,
stuff that I was never able to hang up, that I was never able to display. I was not really able to express the stuff that I wanted to in my house because my style clashed with my ex's style, and I'm glad now that I'm like, okay, I'll have a space of my own. And even when we lived in the house, we had roommates. We had his
yeah,
parents, we had my best friend, we had his best friend. So it wasn't like we really had a lot of room for that. And now I'm like, oh, this will be
yeah,
my house. Hell yeah.
yeah, yeah. I'm excited for you guys. I can't
Yeah,
wait.
we applied for the house on Friday night. So hopefully we get it.
You have to let me know, which I know you will. So I guess it's time to hop into spooky, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's
What do you
me.
have?
So I'm gonna put a bit of a disclaimer. The story I'm about to tell you, the notes I'm about to read to you, were the very first notes I ever took for this podcast, and I never actually went through with them because I found the forest in Romania. And so I've been sitting on these for just in case, like, I ran out of time to do notes or I just didn't have the energy to do notes. And this week, after the week that I had, was that time. So these are the very first notes that I
That's
ever did for this
insane.
podcast, and I've just been hanging on to them for all of this time. And when did we really first start this podcast? It was technically
Like
back,
March or April?
yeah, like right, like we
Right when
recorded
COVID
that,
started.
yeah, that cursed first episode that nobody will ever hear was the week before quarantine here in the United States.
Yeah, which is
So back in
insane.
March. So these notes were technically intended to be my first spooky notes, which would have been, if things would have worked out the correct way, episode 2. But episode 1 was actually my episode, and I did the forest. So we're going to talk about the Devil's Chair in Lake Helen-Cassadaga Cemetery.
Ooh,
Yeah, and there's not a lot of information here, but it's just a fun little story.
I'm excited.
Yeah, so Casadega is located just off of I-4 between Deltona and DeLand in Volusia County, and it is specially known to be the home of a large population of psychics, mediums, and witches. It is also known as the psychic capital of the world, which I didn't realize
What,
that.
really?
Yeah, I guess so.
How
I
do you
didn't
know
realize.
that?
Uh,
How do you find
well,
that out? You just interview everyone, you're like, "Are you a psychic? Are you a
I
psychic?
guess.
Bitch, are
I
you a
guess
psychic?"
so. I don't know. I don't know how somebody was just like, yes, I'm gonna arbitrarily give that title to this little town in Florida.
Sure, why not, right?
So yeah, I don't know. And also to be fair, like this was like I said, the first notes I ever took, so I don't actually have my sources. I will do my very, very best to
To
go
try and
look
find
for
them
them.
again? Yeah.
Yeah, but Honestly, I can't remember like which sources I did look at or didn't. So, but I will do my best to come up with some sources for the website because I know that's a part of reporting is being able to cite your
To be
sources.
like, hey, guess what? I found this. I didn't make it up. I promise.
Yeah. So before Lake Helen-Cassadaga was a town, it was a spiritualist camp aptly named the Cassadaga Spiritual Camp.
Okay.
So, and that was established in 1875 by George P. Colby, who at the time was well known to be a trance medium. And I guess I didn't know what a trance medium was because my next note says that
Like
trance mediums
trans medium or trans medium?
trance, like going into a
Oh,
trance.
okay, okay. I
Yeah.
was like, excuse me?
No, no, he like goes into a trance, and so a trance medium, they allow the ego to step aside and allow a spirit to speak through them.
No, thank you.
So
Absolutely not. Not happening.
yeah,
I
it sounds a
refuse.
little bit like possession,
Yeah,
I
no,
guess.
thank you.
Yeah, I'm not down for that. So my homie GP Colby was pretty famous for traveling to different states, performing seances, giving readings, and he earned the nickname of, quote, seer of spiritualism. During his travels, he would work with spirit guides who would help him and teach him how they became experienced and knowledgeable in their own spiritualness, I guess.
Okay.
And one of the spirit guides that he worked with was a Native American by the name of Seneca, who had channeled G.P. Colby during a seance in Lake Mills, Iowa. And
Okay.
Seneca apparently had foreseen an area near Blue Springs Landing, which is here in Florida, in a vision. And when he manifested, G.P. Colby instructed him to go to that location. So Colby started a camp in 1875, and 19 years later, on December 18th, 1894, a charter from the Cassadaga Spiritual Camp Meeting Association was granted, and he signed a warranty deed for 35 acres. Boom. Cassadaga
Dang.
was born. So
35 acres.
apparently, a quote that I read from one of the articles was this spirit guide apparently had quite the knowledge of property rights. Yeah, I don't
You're
know.
like, pat myself on the back for that.
I guess I thought that that was pretty funny, which I'm not wrong. It was a little bit funny. So today, Cassadaga is divided almost literally in half of people who hold steadfast to the teachings of G.P. Colby and New Agers who use tarot cards and palm readings, and that sets them apart as a bit more lax than their traditionalist counterparts. So,
Interesting.
yeah. So, as a side note, Cassadaga is also home to the also aptly named Cassadaga Hotel. And it's
Of
the
course.
only and it's the only hotel in the area, and it's supposedly super haunted. So that's on my list of things maybe to look into some other time.
That's very interesting, though. Yeah, you should totally look into that.
Yeah. So now that we're done with all that, whatever. Nobody really cares about history. We're gonna get into the devil's chair. We're gonna get back into the devil's chair. So now this is all like a little bit of legend, a little bit of hearsay. I'm sure there's a little bit of fact to it because some beats of the stories are constantly repeated. So I can't imagine that there's some of it that is just made up off of the top of somebody's head. But apparently, back in the 20s, there was a man who lost his wife very quickly and very unexpectedly, and he was so overcome with his grief that he would go to visit her grave every day. Unfortunately, this gentleman, as he grew older, would have arthritis, so he had a chair built next to her grave for him to sit on so that he could sit next to her grave all day. So put a pin in that. We're going to come back later. According to legend, if you sit in this chair at midnight, the devil himself will come speak to you and torture you for the rest of your life. Other stories say that you don't physically see the devil, but you'll hear his voice in your head until you move too far away from the chair, and then it'll just kind of like whatever connection to that chair will break off from the devil.
Okay.
Some stories say that if you taunt the devil while sitting in or standing near the chair, you'll die within 3 days, although this has never been proven. One story from a girl named Kim says that, quote, some students from Stetson went up there on Halloween night one year, but they could not get close to the cemetery because there were some strange people blocking the road.
What kind
And
of strange people?
I think if I vaguely remember this article slash story, and if I remember it correctly, it was implied that it was the KKK just hanging out in the cemetery.
Oh, okay. That is some strange people, I will say.
Yep, I agree. I agree. So apparently, the biggest and most widely told story in the area is if you leave a can of beer out on the chair, it will be empty without it being opened the next morning.
Ew.
So the devil is an alcoholic, I
The
guess.
devil loves alcohol, but he
I guess
don't
so.
he don't like to open cans, I do say.
So there are other devil's chairs all across the world, so I'm going to just touch on those a little bit because the Lake Helen-Cassadaga Cemetery chair is not the only one in the world.
Oh.
So in Ulverston, Cambria, England, there's a chair that appears to have been carved right into the rocky terrain, which is used for climbing near the monument head in Ulverston. No one knows if the chair carved in the rock wall was a natural occurrence or if somebody intentionally carved it in there. And there is a picture, I'll have to look it back up because I remember looking at a picture of this that I will make sure to post. But it does look a little bit vaguely like it could have been naturally or it could have been. It's very weird. So in Shropshire Hills, England, in the highest outcropping of the hills, there is a mountain of rocks that looks vaguely like a chair. And this one's my favorite one, actually, because according to legend, the rocks of the devil's chair were brought there by the devil himself. He was carrying a large load of stones in his apron, which
Oh,
apparently
he has an apron?
I guess the devil wears an
The
apron.
devil wears an apron because he believes that women should not be the only one to make
I
sandwiches.
guess. I'm just here thinking, like, instead of the devil wears Prada, the devil wears an apron.
The devil wears an apron. He
Um,
does not believe in gender roles.
so I don't know what the heck the legend does not explain any further about the apron. Only that he was carrying a large load of stones in his apron and was traveling across Britain from Ireland. Apparently, he got tired and needed a rest, but when he sat down, the rocks scattered out of his apron and he didn't bother to pick them up because he's a lazy, tired ass, I guess. Or as my dad would say, an LTA.
An LTA?
Yep. So, according to legend, you can still smell the brimstone on the stones in the hot weather. I wrote in my notes, I have many questions, but I guess some questions are better left unanswered. I guess that was in regards to the apron because I don't know about the apron.
Yeah.
So the legend concludes that on the longest night of the year, the devil sits upon his chair of brimstone stones that he didn't bother to pick up and summons his local followers, demons and evil spirits, and they choose their king for the year. I thought that the devil was the king of hell, but I don't. That's just what the
What?
legend said. I don't know.
All right
That's
then.
just according to legend.
I'm confused.
So in Kirksville, Missouri, Highland Park Cemetery, there is a devil's chair, aka the Baird chair, Baird. It was placed in the cemetery by Charles Grassel and David Baird when David's wife, Anna Maria, died in 1911. David had died in 1912 and was buried next to her, and their chair acts as their grave marker. Legends say that something terrible will happen to any person bold enough to sit upon the Baird chair at midnight or on Halloween night. According to legend, a hand will appear from the grave and drag anyone who dares to sit in the chair to hell, and never to be seen again. Other legends, of course, say that anybody bold enough to sit on the chair will be rewarded by the devil, so who the hell knows?
Only very confusing, but
hmm So in Torcello, Italy, the throne of Attila, local legends state that any girl who sits upon this chair will be married within a year. But this chair apparently was probably that of a magistrate seat at the time of its construction. And there are some other honorable mentions, I guess, that didn't have a whole lot of stories behind them, so I'll just go ahead and list those here. Decatur, Illinois, a haunted chair in Greenwood Cemetery. Guthrie Center, Iowa. A devil's chair is a cement cast chair located in Union Cemetery. And
okay.
it's situated between two graves, but the graves are not marked and nobody knows which chair or which grave the chair belongs to.
Oh, great.
Mm-hmm. So in Syracuse, New York, it contains a child-sized seat in Oakwood Cemetery, which is somehow the creepiest one to me. as I'm reading that, I'm like, child-sized anything when you're dealing with the supernatural is a
Is it
bad
no?
news
Is it
bears.
no?
Yeah. So the truth behind these legends is what is most likely the case is these chairs were built for family members to meet at the gravesite of their loved ones, and over time, the construction of these chairs at grave sites, it became obsolete. And kids who like to freak out their peers started spreading ridiculous rumors, which turned into small town legends. And there you have it, devil chairs across the world.
That's so weird.
So that is the story of the Lake Helen-Cassadaga Devil's Chair, as well as a few honorable mentions.
Well, thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
That's so funny though that those are your original notes from like
I
5
know.
months
Isn't
ago.
that wild? Isn't
But
that
like, I mean, there's a bunch of stuff that I've made notes on. I didn't
wild?
make notes completely, but it was just, oh, I want to cover X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, yeah.
And I just haven't gotten into it yet. That's about it.
Yeah, I have notes. I'm really interested and excited about doing it. I have notes that I have started about a psychiatric hospital in Italy, and I've started those
Oh.
notes, but I haven't finished them yet because it's a bigger project than I thought it was going to be. So we're gonna get there eventually.
We'll get there. Thank you for sharing your first notes.
Yeah. You're welcome.
I guess I'll just hop straight into gaming news then.
Yeah, tell me about what's going on in the gaming. I know that there's
So,
something with Apple and Epic again.
is there? Because I could not find anything. Wait,
Oh,
let me look it up right now.
all I know for sure is that so last week I had talked about the injunction that Epic had filed
Oh, I see it
regarding.
now.
Okay.
It came out 4 hours ago.
Oh, awesome.
This is from 9to5mac.com, so I guess I'll just read this.
Okay.
The battle between Epic and Apple over App Store policies continued into this week. Following a hearing with lawyers for both companies, a judge ruled that Apple can't terminate developer accounts related to Epic's other properties, such as other games and the Unreal Engine. The judge also determined that Apple does not have to put Fortnite back on the App Store. Meanwhile, Epic continues to blame Apple for a variety of Fortnite gameplay changes for iPhone, iPad, and Mac users. The company confirmed this week that Fortnite gamers on Apple devices will miss out on future content updates as well as cross platform. That sucks.
Yeah.
There's not a lot, it seems like.
Yeah. I had known that their injunction that they had filed against Apple was granted to them, but that also that the court ruled in Apple's favor about like Fortnite being like, well, you did break Apple's rules, so we're not going to overturn that
Part of
situation,
it,
but
yeah.
also Apple, you're being bullies, so we're not going to let you just kind of ruin the livelihoods of thousands of people who don't really have a stake in this.
Exactly.
You guys are just being assholes. Anyway, so go ahead.
But yeah, that's it. That's the only update. I'm sure there will be more things to unfold and we will keep updating as it happens.
Mm-hmm.
The next thing I have is from PCGamesN.com. Call of Duty had revealed some news on Discord stating that Activision had taken legal action. As part of the litigation, the company had taken down all of its Call of Duty related cheats and stopped supporting them. This is a quote. As a result of our lawsuit with Activision, we have agreed to cease development and support for all Call of Duty related products or services sold through the site. These products will not be returning to CX cheats in any form. The Discord has since been taken down, but a screenshot is now on Reddit, so that's cool.
Interesting.
And there's a link to it in here, so when I send you the link, if you find it in here, you can see the
Yeah, yeah. I'll
screenshot of it.
post it on the website
But
for sure.
CX cheats, it says, offered an array of methods for cheating and hacking your UI, from aimbots to radar, making your radar bigger, cheat menus. All of that stuff has been removed, which good.
Yeah, really.
It says at the bottom of the statement, CX Cheats apologizes for any pain we've caused to players of Call of Duty, which is kind of funny because it's like, you've made me suffer. I got
Yeah, really.
headshot and I suffered.
Yeah, really.
But that's the whole point of games, is not to cheat in them.
Yeah. No,
So,
I don't disagree with the
yeah.
action taken by Activision.
Same. The next thing that I have came out on the 30th. I think it's hilarious. It's from Forbes.com, and the first line is, "Good morning. The internet is broken."
What
So
happened?
there's a large scale outage affecting a bunch of different websites and games. So apparently Destiny was down, League of Legends, Call of Duty, Blizzard, Black Desert, Valorant, Xbox Live, PlayStation, and RuneScape were all out. this morning.
Wow, what the hell?
Yeah, I don't this won't be relevant by the end of the week, but I just thought
Yeah,
it was
but
funny.
still, gee.
So, it was a large scale outage and people are having issues logging in, they wouldn't load their sites, they weren't getting enough error messages, so it seems to be pinpointed by Cloudflare, which has its the way it's phrased in this article is which has its fingers in a million internet pies. uh but basically, I guess that it was down and it caused trouble for a bunch of different games. So, Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, and Warzone, GTA 5, League of Legends, Apex, Valorant, Destiny 2, FIFA, World of Warcraft, Fall Guys, and then it was also affecting PSN, Xbox Live, and Steam.
Okay,
But it
wow.
seems like
Gee.
most of them have been resolved, but if you're having issues or you had issues by the time you hear this, don't be surprised. So,
Yeah, really, gee.
Cloudflare updated and was just like, hey, today we saw a widespread internet outage online that impacted many multiple servers. So,
Jeez, I wonder what happened.
I don't know, but at
Interesting.
least it's being fixed. And then
Yeah.
the next thing I have for you is from videogameschronicle.com. According to this, a new Monster Hunter game for Nintendo Switch will be revealed. Which I know a
Ooh.
lot of I've never played Monster Hunter, but I know a lot of people have played Monster Hunter and they fucking love it. So,
Yeah, no, I have Monster Hunter, the what was it, the most recent one. I started to play it and I was gonna play it online with one of my sorority big sisters, but
just never
I
got
never
to it.
yeah,
Yeah.
I never got into it. And I mean, while I played it, I was having a ball, but it's just the nature of video games, man. There's
Yeah.
so many to play in so little time.
It's weird, but yeah, it's that's the issue is that there's too much things I'm interested in at once.
Exactly, exactly. Monster Hunter is a good time though, so
But
you should
yeah,
consider it when it
apparently
comes out on Switch. We can play together.
that'd be fun. But yeah, they're looking into the development of it, so hopefully we hear more updates about that. The next thing I have is that there was a Call of Duty streamer, a Call of Duty Warzone streamer.
Hmm.
His name is Mr. Golds. He got caught cheating on his stream. I've never
Um,
watched him before, but I've heard
yeah,
his
me
name pop
neither.
up a couple of times. But
Yeah.
in the middle of the stream, he was talking about how good he was about on the game. He's like, "Oh, I'm so fucking great," and then a cheat engine popped up, which is like, "What the fuck, dude?"
Yeah,
So
really.
as soon as that happened, someone clipped it and posted it everywhere. So
I bet they did.
yeah,
I
'cause,
bet
like,
they
why
did.
wouldn't you? So, everyone reported his stream. This is something that he had said, "Just because I have good recoil control, I'm good at the game." It says Mr. Gold says during the fateful moment, "The first time you see someone good at the game, now I'm talking with you guys because you really I play and I look at the chat and it's like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? What's going on, guys? Have you ever seen anyone play like me?" And then it pops up. So, he had an engine owning window open, which is, I guess, the cheat system that he was using. Engine owning promises high quality cheats for games like Modern Warfare and Warzone. So, yeah, that's awesome. And he appeared to deny that he was cheating in this by posting an Instagram post where he was like, "Oh, I wasn't hacking," but
Mhm.
he totally was. So,
Yeah,
we'll
really.
see how that plays out, but it's really funny. The next story I have for you is from PCGamer.com. Sony wants to bring more first party games to PC. So it's trying to work more with that. They were quoted saying, "We will explore expanding our first party titles to the PC platform in order to
Okay.
promote further growth in our profitability." Which I don't know if you want to exclusively say that. They're not like, "Oh, because people want it." They're like, "Because we want money, fucker." Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, here's the thing. You are fooling yourself if you think that any big company is doing anything other than doing
oh,
it to
just
make
trying to make
money.
money. Yeah, absolutely.
So,
But I think it's just funny that they didn't try to hide it. They were
I
like
appreciate,
they were just
most people
blunt
would be
about
like,
it.
yeah, most people would be like what you said, like, don't say that. But no, me, I appreciate the honesty.
Mhm.
Like, I know you're not doing this for me, you're doing it for money.
They're doing it for
I
money, but thank you
benefit.
for also making this.
Yeah, I benefit, but yeah, you're not doing it for me, you're doing it for me. I
But they're
appreciate.
trying to because they wanna be competition to other games.
Mhm.
So hopefully there are some other new stuff coming out. And then the last thing I have for you, which is a controversy in itself. So
Uh-oh.
Ubisoft had a you know, like with everything going on and how obviously you and I are huge supporters of Black Lives Matter, me
Mhm.
being black and you being not an asshole. So, you know, this is something that we hold very close to both of our hearts, and a lot of people do. And it's important that Black Lives Matter is for Black Lives Matter, and it doesn't. So essentially, what happened was Ubisoft used the fist in their game. They
Oh,
used the fist
no.
in their game Tom Clancy's Elite Squad, which was the symbol to represent its villains, which did not go over well.
Oh my
Which fair.
god.
So,
Bro.
they put out a statement on Twitter that said imagery that appeared in the opening video sequence of Tom Clancy's Elite Squad featured a raised fist, was insensitive and harmful in both its inclusion and how it was portrayed. We have listened to and appreciate the players and the broader community who have pointed it out, and we apologize. This raised fist imagery will be removed in the next title update this Tuesday, September 1st, on Android and as soon as possible on iOS. So they acknowledged it. They were like, oh shit. That's not good. So that'll be removed. It reminds me of like Overwatch removing the noose from McCree's sprays
Yeah,
and stuff like
except
that.
for
Except for they could have stopped. This is the fist has been a thing, even if it hasn't been a prominent thing, which it has. But
yeah, yeah.
if it hadn't been a prominent thing, I still
Still been a thing.
come
Yeah, no,
on, like
I'm looking at pictures of it right now, and it's not even like you can be like, "Oh, it's kind of an image that looks similar." No, that is the
it's the
exact
exact same fucking
same
hand.
thing.
Like
The
it's not like
fuck?
a little bit similar. It's the same fucking thing.
What the fuck?
That's all I got for you. It
Oh,
wasn't there's
okay.
not a ton of things, but
Yeah.
yeah, so we'll see what happens with the Epic and Sony
Epic versus
Apple. I
Apple,
don't know why I said Sony
Ubisoft.
because I was just
Yeah,
looking at Sony.
yeah, it
Epic
happened.
versus Apple. We'll see what happens with that. There's not a lot of updates right now, but I assume as the weeks progress, either we'll hear nothing or we'll hear everything. So we'll see.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But also, I have a good announcement. We have a Patreon now.
Yes, we do. It looks so good.
I have to
Everybody
work on
hit.
it some more, but for now, it works. And
Yeah.
our bloopers are up. The 18th episode bloopers should be up by the time this comes out. I just
Mhm.
wanted to see if I can. Basically, what I was doing was messing with effects to see if I could make anything sound funnier. Nothing sounds funnier with effects, apparently. So, but it is pretty funny. But take a look. There's one free blooper on Patreon. Everything else, if you do want to contribute to us, we don't ask for it at all. We just
No,
happen to
no,
put it
not
up
at
here
all.
because we already have the bloopers. So why not, give content to you guys? And if we do wind up having a decent amount of Patreons, we'll keep adding content,
Yeah,
mini
absolutely.
episodes, episodes where, we might just cover a really tiny tidbit story or let's hear a
Yeah.
story or something. So we want to contribute more. So if you want to hear more of us, go ahead and, look
Check
at our
on that.
Patreon. It's just
Yeah.
patreon.com/ghoulgaminggals. So take a
And
look
it
at
looks
that.
good. It looks good. I like that the membership level we have right now is ghoul.
Yeah, there's
I love
only
it.
there's only one
Yeah, that's okay.
because I didn't want to put three because it's like I don't expect anyone to spend $10 or $15 on us.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Um,
I do.
and if at one point we have a lot of content, then I'll probably put that up higher
You
and
could
like.
put ghouls, gamers, and gals.
Well, I was looking at like different spirit names, so it was supposed to be Ghoul, Phantom, and like Banshee or something.
Oh, I get
Um,
it. I get it.
which it was supposed to like keep getting worse, but we don't have enough content yet, and also
No, I
like
get
whatever. But
yeah,
yeah,
no.
like please take a look at it. We have one free blooper on there, so if you want to hear
Mhm.
it, go ahead and look at it. And if you want to hear the
Yeah.
other one, go ahead and donate. But yeah, it was just for fun, for funsies, for a little bit of funs.
Yeah.
You can find us on all of our social media basically at Ghoul Gaming Gals, except Instagram, which is
Dot
ghoulgaminggals.podcast.
podcast. Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure if you look up Ghoul Gaming also will be there.
Yeah,
You can find Janelle's Twitch, which is usually where we stream from, at Janelle Nelly.
and the times that Angel does stream from her Twitch, it is Aria Makila at AUREUMAQUILA.
You can visit our website at ghoulgaminggals.com, and there is a link to our Patreon from the website, so you don't have to
Woo!
go searching for it, but can if you want to, but it's there.
It's there. Make it easier for yourself.
You can also email us if you're old fashioned or if you want to submit your pupper to be
A
our sponsor,
sponsor.
because we would love to have more Puppo sponsors,
Yeah,
at
absolutely.
ghoulgaminggals@gmail.com. And
Have a good Labor Day weekend, everybody.
yeah, enjoy your long weekend.
If you do have one. If not, I'm so sorry for your loss.
Yeah. Well, okay, on that note, let's go ahead and get out of here.
Goodbye, everybody. Be safe and be happy. See you in the
Okay.
next one.
Bye.